So good morning everyone, my name is Lalit Soni and you are watching Drishti IAS. In this live session, we will be discussing the Indian Express newspaper as usual. Now today we will be having a different start over here. Here usually we used to start with the fact of the day. Now we will be discussing a PYQ of the day. Last session I told you that we will be moving to the PYQ in place of the practice question, but I thought that we should be going for the PYQ at a different section, because practice question is important because we generally take a question from the current affairs. Okay, so that is important for us to discuss the current affairs or the practice question related to the current affairs. Okay, now when we talk about the fact of the day, that was more like a concept which we like. If there is a news we missed in the let's say in yesterday's paper or something like that, so we will be covering that over there, or something from the PIB or any other online source if there is that. So we used to cover in the fact of the day, but what we'll do now is that we will be taking a different section over there, but PYQ will be starting in the place of the fact of the day. Okay, so that is there. Then geography through maps, which is all a regular section which was there for the static part. Then coming to the today's article, here we will be discussing marine heat waves. What are marine heat waves and why is that Australia is facing them right now? Okay, so we'll be talking about that. After that we'll be seeing that what kind of impact it is having on the, you can say, aquatic life. Okay, then coming to the next one, what is gold rush? Now there is this term in economy which is generally used, that is gold rush. So we will be talking about what is gold rush and why it is happening right now. Okay, coming to the next one, US G20 and India. USA has taken a decision this time that they will not be participating in the G20's foreign secretary level meeting. So we'll be talking about that and what impact it will have on India. So that we will be discussing. Okay, then coming to the next one, for your own read, there will be one article, then we will be coming to the practice question which was given to you in the previous lecture. Okay, so now let's start with the first one, that is your PYQ of the day. Now here this question has been taken from 2024. Okay, here you can say, consider the following statement. Statement 1, the Suez pipeline is a strategic route for Persian Gulf oil and the natural gas shipment to Europe. Okay, so that is one thing. Second is, the Suez pipeline connects the Red Sea with the Mediterranean Sea. Which of the following is correct in respect of the above statements? Now there are two statements which are given and they are saying that which of the following is correct. Now this is one of the pattern which UPSC use in the answers, in the options, that is there will be two statements and they will be asking you whether statement 1 is correct, second is incorrect, like that, or they will be saying that both the statements are correct and they are correct explanation of each other. Okay, and other than that there will be the another option, that is both the statements are correct but they are not explanation. Okay, so if you look at this statement, they have been talking about the areas in the Persian Gulf and the, you can say, Mediterranean Sea, this area. So right now you know that this area was in news because of the Israel Hamas issue, Red Sea crisis. Because of all these things, this area was in news and they have taken it. Okay, so this says that from the PYQ analysis you can say that if there is a conflict situation going on somewhere, if there is an area which is in the news because of any reason, because of the current affairs, they will be asking. So that is why analysis of PYQ becomes important for you. Okay, that it becomes very important for you. If you are preparing for prelims, you must go through the PYQs. Okay, so now if you look at the statement 1 and 2, you will be seeing that Suez pipeline is a strategic route for Persian Gulf oil and natural gas. Here you can see this is the map. Okay, now if you look at this particular area, that is of the Red Sea. Okay, and here you will be seeing that there is this Suez pipeline. Okay, now they are saying that this is Red Sea, this is Mediterranean Sea, here this is your Persian Gulf. Okay, no connection. Okay, so that is one thing. Here coming to the point, Suez pipeline is a strategic route for the Persian Gulf oil and natural gas shipments to the Europe. Now what they are saying is that it is not about the connection. They are saying that the oil from the Persian Gulf and the natural gas is going to Europe through this particular route. Here you can see, from this particular area, whatever oil is there, that will be going through this route only, because either they will be taking this land route, but mostly you will be seeing that they are going through this route because this region might have chaos. Okay, so that is why you will be seeing that that is also taking this route only for the Europe. Okay, so that is one thing. Coming to the second one, the Suez pipeline connects the Red Sea with the Mediterranean Sea. That is also true. we can say that both the statements are correct and they are explanation of each other, because we have seen that it is connecting the Red Sea with the Mediterranean Sea. Now catch is that if there is a Red Sea and if they are talking about the Persian Gulf, you might get confused that how can both the statement will be true, okay? But the thing is, they are talking about the Persian Gulf oil and natural gas, the gas or oil which is going through the, you know, starting from the Persian Gulf and going towards the, you can say, basically they are talking about the export, okay, and they are not talking about the location, okay? So both the statements are correct, and statement 2 is the explanation of 1, okay? Correct, statement 2 explain the statement 1, option A would be your right answer. Now they have taken it from 2023 crisis which was there, and in 2024 they have asked about this question, okay? I hope that is clear. Now moving further and starting with the next one, that is geography through maps. Now if you look at this particular area, they are talking about the soil. We have talked about various rivers, we have talked about the physiography, now we are talking about the soil. I am just giving you an idea, a basic idea which can help you in eliminating when you are talking about the UPSC questions. You will be seeing that elimination works, okay? If you have a, you know, bank of knowledge with you, then you might go for the smart techniques, okay? So now considering that, we are going for the revision of the static in a particular format. Now we are talking about the soils over here. Now if you look at this particular area, this is your Himalayan region, Trans-Himalayan and Himalayan region. So here these soils are the mountainous or the forest soils, okay? So that is one. After that you will be seeing that these are your plains, and we have seen that the Ganga plain and the plains is having a alluvial soil. So that is another thing. Coming to the Deccan Plateau region, here you will be finding one thing, that is your black soil, black cotton soil, okay? Then coming to the other area of the Deccan Plateau only, this area which is there in red, that is your red and yellow soil. Here you will be seeing that the amount of iron is high, okay? So that is there, or you can say amount of iron is high over there, okay? Coming to the next one, we have seen about the black soil and then laterite soil. Here these are the area of Western Ghat and some areas like this and this. These are the area where rainfall is high, okay? In such areas you will be seeing that there will be laterite soil. Here you can see in Rajasthan also some parts are seeing having laterite soil. That is the area where Aravalli is there. Aravalli is the ridge dividing the Rajasthan into two parts. One is having desert and the second is having the area where rainfall is there. So after, you can say, in the, you know, east of the Aravallis, you will be seeing some kind of rainfall. So laterite soil can be found over there in the Western Ghats and the northeastern region as well, okay? Coming to the next one, your arid region, that is your, after the division from the Aravalli, here you will be seeing that there is a Thar desert, that is your arid soil, okay? So I hope that is clear. This you should remember. This is the kind of classification they can ask you, like in which area, if they are asking about, let's say, where ore of iron is found, okay? So now you know that this is the area where red and yellow soil is found, okay? That color is because of the iron oxides, okay? So that is how you can use this knowledge, okay? Anyways, now let's move further. Before that, I would like to tell you that Drishti IAS is offering you ISGS foundation course for prelims as well as mains in offline mode at our new center, that is Noida sector 15. We are offering English medium courses which are starting from 17th of February 6 p.m. and for Hindi medium batches are starting from 21st of February 11:30 a.m. Okay, for more details you can call us on 87501 87501, or you can directly visit the center and get yourself enrolled. Okay, anyways. First article of the day, that is how climate crisis intensifying the marine heat waves. Now what is marine heat wave? First thing, whenever we are talking about heat wave, that means that we are having a temperature which is above than the average temperature, okay? Now when we talk about a temperature which is more than 3 to 4 degrees Celsius from the, you can say, average temperature of that particular region, then we can say that this is kind of a heat wave. That is, we are talking about the marine heat waves. That means that in the ocean, if the temperature is more than 3 to 4 degrees Celsius above the average temperature, then we can see that this is kind of a marine heat wave, okay? So that is there. Recently in the some of the parts of Australia, it is happening in the western coast of Australia. You will be seeing that there is a heat wave. This is not the first time that keeps happening over there, but this is the second severe heat wave, you can say, marine severe heat wave that has been happening over here. For the first time it happened in the summers of 2010-11. Okay, after that, right now we are facing it in 2024-25. That is basically a marine heat wave is going on in that particular area. Now what is happening because of that? When we talk about temperature rise, what will happen is that the flora and fauna over there, flora and fauna which are living in that particular part, they are quite sensitive to the temperature, because we are talking about the aquatic life over here. Aquatic life is sensitive to the temperature, salinity, etc. Okay. Now, because of the rise in the temperature, they are not able to survive. So there are, kelp forest which are, having some kind of impact. Other than that, there are various fishes which are being dying. That is the phenomena which is called as fish kill. There is a phenomena which is called as fish kill that is happening. That means that a sudden and the unexpected killings of the or death of the fish in that particular region. So that is what is happening, and that is why it was in news. Now there are two things which is important for you, that is first where it is happening, and second is that what is the phenomena of fish kill. Okay, so let's say to what is and third is what is marine heat wave, that is obvious. Okay, so marine heat waves, that is having or you can say there is the observation which is saying that 30,000 fishes has been dying in this particular region of the coastal Western Australia due to the climate change. Now, because of the global warming, we are facing this issue of the temperature rise, and because of which we are facing this marine heat waves. Okay, so that is there. Now, severity of the marine heat waves is intensifying as sea surface temperature in some areas touches 2 degrees Celsius more than the above average for this time of the year. Okay, so that is around 2 degrees Celsius. Coming to the next one here, current marine heat waves are the second worst in the Western Australia's record history. The first one was your summer of 2010 and 11, okay, which we have discussed already. Now, what are marine heat waves? Here you can see the marine heat waves occurs when the surface temperature of a particular region of the sea rises to 3 or 4 degrees Celsius above the average temperature for at least 5 days. Okay, 3 to 4 degrees Celsius higher than the average temperature of sea in a particular area for more than 5 days. Okay, now this is the minimum. For more than 5 days the temperature should be like that. Otherwise this can last for days, weeks, hours, or even months. Okay, so that is there which has been written over here. It can last for weeks, months, even years. Then coming to the next one, this definition is taken from the National Ocean Atmospheric Administration. Okay, from the past few decades, if you talk about, the marine heat waves has become longer and more frequent and more intense, and that is because of the climate change. IUCN said that marine heat waves has increased by 50% over the past decade, last longer and were more severe now. Same observation has been taken by the IUCN as well. Now, why marine heat waves are intensified? That is simple, because of the temperature change. Okay, so that is there. We have discussed about this temperature change. Here you can say we have already talked about the global temperature has soared 1.5 degrees Celsius above the pre-industrial level. In last to last lecture, we have talked about the temperature rise. Okay, so that is there. 90% of the extra heat has been absorbed by the ocean. Ocean absorbs the heat that is there. So because of which you can say that 90% extra heat has been absorbed. If an ocean is absorbing 90% extra heat, that means that the temperature of that particular place is rising. Okay, so that is there. Global mean sea surface temperature by close to 0.9 degrees Celsius. So here you can say by absorbing this much heat, the temperature has increased by 0.9 degrees Celsius. Okay, and here you can see with rise of around 0.6 degree over the last 4 decades. Okay, so that is there. Coming to the next one, coastal Western Australia had been witnessing a spike in the marine heat waves and more intensity has been seen, and it is likely to worsen across the world. Okay, the number of heat waves or marine heat waves was projected to increase by average factor of 16 for the global warming of 1.5 degrees Celsius. When we are talking about the 1.5 degrees Celsius, that was the target which was set up by the Paris Climate Change Agreement. So that is there. If we are targeting this, we are seeing that the marine heat wave situation will be you can say increased by 16, okay, factor of 16. And when we talk about the temperature change, that is of 2 degrees Celsius, that will be by a factor of 23. Okay, so that is there. What is the impact? Now there are two impacts which has been seen over here. First is the fish kill. Fish kill, which I have already told you that if there is a sudden and unexpected killings in the large number of fishes in a particular area, that is called as fish kill. Second is the kelp forest. Here there is a picture on the board which is there. that is a kelp forest. Okay, kelp forest are the underwater areas with a high intensities of the kelp. Okay, kelp is a kind of you can say a flora which is there. This is a kind of a plant, aquatic plant which is there. So this is impacting the areas of the kelp forest over there. And other than that, third factor is coral bleaching. Coral bleaching, you know that corals are also sensitive to the temperature. Now these are the three impacts of the marine heat waves. Okay, I hope that is clear. So this article ends over here. Now we can move further to the next one. Now, told it can't drill in the national park, oil, that is Oil India Limited, turns into a research project. Okay, so now what is happening over here is that they wanted to go for the mining, oil mining in this particular region of Assam. We will be talking about that. So the here basically the permission has been denied. Okay, so denied permission to explore and extract the oil and gas under the Assam's Dibru Saikhowa National Park. Mining is prohibited. That is what has been said by the you can say authorities. Now in response to that, Oil India Limited has gone for the R&D study. Okay, whether they can go for it or not. Now you don't have to go details into the details of this particular article. Only thing what is important for you is that because of the oil and the gas mining, there is one national park which has been in news in Assam. That national park is Dibru Saikhowa. You should know that much. Okay, so that is there. First thing. Second, Oil India Limited was denied permission to explore and extract the oil gas under the Assam's Dibru Saikhowa National Park, where mining is prohibited. Okay, and you know, sometimes back in 2020 there was this Baghjan oil field. Okay, and because of this Baghjan oil field, there was oil spill was there, and that has impacted the, you can say, environment. So considering that, risk can be there to Dibru Saikhowa because this is in the vicinity. Okay, if you are going for any kind of oil exploration in the Dibru Saikhowa itself, so there are high chances that such incident can happen. Okay, so two things you have to remember. One is Dibru Saikhowa, second is Baghjan oil fields. Okay, now let's see it on the map. This is your Assam. Okay, now here you can say this Lohit river is there, and now this is your Brahmaputra river. Okay, now here this particular landscape is your Dibru Saikhowa landscape. So this is there in Assam, and you can say it is in the vicinity of the river, that is your Brahmaputra. Okay, other than that, there is this Dihing Patkai Wildlife Sanctuary that is also there in Assam, so that you can remember. Coming to the next one, that is your Baghjan oil field. Okay, here we have seen that this is your you can say Brahmaputra, and after that you will be seeing that there is Dibru Saikhowa. Okay, then there was this Baghjan in the vicinity of that. Okay, so considering that, you can say this particular risk of the risk to the environment remains over there. Okay, so that is about this article. Now let's move further to the next one. Another one is your Chandrayaan-4 launch in 2027, Samudrayaan in 2026 to explore the seabed. Now again, these are some of the, you can say, aspirational missions which are there. We have talked about Chandrayaan earlier, we have talked about the Gaganyaan. Now this Samudrayaan is something new. More detail has not been given in the article, but you should know what it is. So let's talk about this. Chandrayaan-4, this is to be launched in 2027. Idea is to bring back the samples from the moon's surface. Okay, so that is the thing. Now we are saying that it will take at least 2 LVN-3 rockets launches that will carry different components to the moon, and then they will be bringing back the, you can say, samples from there. So what they are trying to do is that they will be sending this particular rocket, 2 LVMs, launch vehicles. So they will be sending 2 launch vehicles. Different components will be there. These components will be, you can say, assembled in the orbit. Now assembled in the orbit, do you recall something related to that? There was this docking and undocking experiment which has been done recently. Okay, so that will be used over here. Okay, because you are going for the assembly in the orbit, so for that docking maneuver will be there. Okay, so that is there for the Chandrayaan-4, that is scheduled to be you can say performed in 2027. Okay, idea is to bring back the samples from the moon. Coming to the next one, Gaganyaan. Gaganyaan, you know that this is India's human flight mission. Okay, so this is human space flight mission. Next year it is scheduled. Okay, coming to the next one, Samudrayaan 2026. Now this is something new which you should remember. Samudrayaan, that expected in 2026, sending 3 scientists in a submersible to explore the deep ocean. Now this is not talking about the space, this is talking about the deep ocean. Okay, up to 6,000 meters. Samudrayan will help discover critical minerals, rare earth metals, marine biodiversity for economic and the environmental benefits. A third launch pad. Other than that, there is the third launch pad which we recently talked about when we were talking about the launch of the IRNSS that was there in the, or you can say the 100th launch of the ISRO. At that point of time, we have discussed that there is a third launch pad which is to be planned, okay, is being built for the heavier rockets expanding beyond Sriharikota to Tuticorin in Tamil Nadu for launching small satellites. Okay, so that is about your this article. There are 3-4 things which has been discussed. One is your launch vehicle, one is your launch pad which is to be built in Tamil Nadu, Tuticorin, and second here you can say Chandrayaan 2027, Gaganyaan, Samudrayaan, all these things has been talked about. So this is something. Right now you must be seeing that our discussions are moving more on the lines of the prelims, okay, because these are certain things which will be asked. So we are moving towards the you can say preparation of the prelims now. So here gold rush, soaring prices over drives the consumer to pledge their asset. Now what is happening right now is that the prices of gold is rising, okay, and since the prices of gold is rising, what is happening is that people are pledging their assets. Pledging their assets means that they are giving gold and they are getting money in the form of the loan, okay. So basically they are getting gold loans. Why is that? Because earlier, let's say if the value of a particular unit of gold is somewhere around 7,000, okay, okay, so 1 unit for 7,000. Now the rates has increased, rates are somewhere around 8,500, okay. Now if 8,500 is the rate, so there is a margin of 1,500 extra, so people are taking loan, okay, so they are pledging their gold assets and taking loan because they are getting more money right now, okay. So that is something which is happening, and because of which the demand of the gold has increased in the market, okay. So people are going to buy more and more gold, so that is what is basically called as the gold rush, okay. So let's see, a gold rush is a period of rapidly increasing demand for gold, often due to rising prices or economic uncertainty, leading people to buy, mine or pledge gold for the financial gain, okay. So there are 2-3 things which has been discussed: increasing demand for the gold because of the rising prices or the economic uncertainty. Now see why rising prices. When prices are rising, people will be thinking of investing in the gold, or they will be going for the gold loans, etc. So for that they will require gold, okay. So that is one thing. Second, economic uncertainty. If there is an uncertainty, gold has a intrinsic value, okay. So if you have money in your hand, so there, its value will be, you can say, if there is inflation, okay, so value of money will not be much. Then if you have gold, gold has a intrinsic value, so that is why people go for investing in the gold more. Other than that, recently you must have seen that the markets are not performing well. Markets or the mutual funds or the SIPs are not performing well right now, so because of which people are diverting from the security market or the stock market, they are moving towards the gold. So because of the uncertainties also, people will go for the safe investment, and gold is one of the safe investment, okay. So that is why right now India is facing a gold rush, okay. Now coming to the next one, gold as a financial asset. Why is that we are going for the gold rush? So here reason is given. Gold is traditionally a store of value and a safe haven asset. A store of value, that means that it is having an intrinsic value, its own value, okay. A safe haven asset during economic uncertainty. Rising gold prices increases its attractiveness and as a collateral for the loans. So that is about this article. You don't have to worry about the data which has been given over here, that is not of any use for you. What is important is that what is gold rush and why is that, how it impacts the economy during the times of the uncertainties, okay. Moving further, US decision on G20 message for ICJ diplomacy test for India. Now what is happening is, recently the US Secretary of the State, that is Marco Rubio, he has said that he might not be attending the G20 summit, okay. Now G20 is a grouping, global grouping is there, and it is having a good impact right now because there are almost, you can say, various kind of representations are there over there, okay. Recently African Union has also joined in the India's presidency. So considering that was there, and he has said that they might not be joining. Now if USA is not joining, what will be the impacts? So let's say, and second thing is, why is that they are not joining, okay. So that is there. Now let's talk about that. So, and thing is, this meeting is happening in the Johannesburg, okay. This is happening in the Johannesburg, that is there in South Africa, okay. Now let's talk about the reasons and the other stuff. US decision on G20. US Secretary of the State, that is Marco Rubio, stated he wouldn't be attending the G20 foreign ministers meeting in the Johannesburg. President Donald Trump criticized South Africa for confiscating land and treating certain groups unfairly. So basically they are saying that they are being biased, or they are treating some groups unfairly. So that is why they have criticized the South Africa. Now ICJ case against Israel. South Africa is a country which has taken Israel to the ICJ for the genocide they have been doing in the Gaza, for the alleged genocide which they are been doing in Gaza. Okay, so for that South Africa has taken Israel to the International Court of Justice over the alleged genocide in Gaza. Okay, so that is they are targeting the Hague courts. Now, why they are why is that USA is targeting the Hague courts? Because Trump's first administration, when we talk about the, you can say 2017 to 21, sanctioned the ICC and its officials, but Biden administration has reversed it. That is what we are saying, that Mr. Trump has a tendency to get out of the international institutions. Okay. So at that point of time, he has put sanctions on the ICJ. So that is one thing, and Mr. Biden's administration has reversed it. But right now, again, Trump government is there. So that is there. ICC, and why is that there is this particular issue with the ICC? Because ICC is investing the Russian war crimes in Ukraine. USA is supporting Ukraine. Okay, so that is one of the thing. Second is ICC may pursue arrest warrant against the Israeli and Hamas leaders. Okay, that is also being supported. When we talk about the Israeli, they are being supported by USA. Now considering that, they have actually has this particular issue with the Hague courts. Okay, so that is there. Now coming to the next part, G20 uncertain future, because if USA is not coming, then what can be the future? Or you can say what if USA altogether leaves the union? Because when we talk about WHO and all, so they have got out of it. So let's see. It raises concerns about Mr. Trump's commitment to the multilateral organizations like G20, like WHO, like Paris Climate Agreement, etc. Trump's first term emphasized on the America first and reduced the focus on the G20. Okay, a more aggressive Trump 2.0 could further weaken the cooperation within the G20. Okay, that is something simple which we have discussed various times in the with respect to WHO, with respect to Paris Agreement, with respect to his sanctions, etc. Okay, coming to the next one, if Trump prioritized the isolations, G20 could face setbacks affecting the India's leadership role, because right now G20 in India is doing great in the G20. You know, our presidency last year was really good. Okay, coming to the next one, India's perspective on the G20 here. India sees G20 as a more effective global platform than the UN, because more representation is there and more problem solving can be done from that. Okay, when we talk about the UN, most of the time you will be seeing that the veto is the thing which is a big obstacle in taking any kind of concrete decision. Okay, coming to the next one, India has benefited from G20's rise and its own leadership role in the global south. We have seen that in the G20 summit which happened in India. The Biden administration supported India's presidency in 2023 as a bridge between the global north and the global south. So that is you can say India's perspective on the global that is G20. Okay, so we have seen this article, what are the impacts and why we are talking about this particular thing right now. Now coming to the next one, passing references to few things. See, once a blessing for Pakistani city of Gwadar, now it becomes a curse. Why? Because of the earlier, when it was a port city, they have seen it as a economic city from where the revenue is being generated. But the problem is that that is actually based on a sand dunes. Okay, it is built on a sand dune. Now because of the climate change, because of the sea surface rise, etc., there are problems which they are facing. Okay, so there might be a chance that it might submerge. So considering that, it has become a curse. Right now I have taken this article because you should know about 2-3 things over here. You should know about the Gwadar port, you should know about the Chabar port, you should know about the location of Gwadar in Pakistan. Okay, so here you can say Gwadar is in the Balochistan and it is a arid region. Okay, and mountainous region. China's presence is there in Gwadar, so that is why I have taken this particular article over here. You don't have to read all the article, just know that the location of the Gwadar. Okay, so here you can say there is a map. This is our beloved India, and here you can say this is your Gwadar port. Okay, and one side it is having land, otherwise Arabian Sea is there, and here you can see this is the Chahabar port, which is quite important for us, because if we want to have a connectivity to Afghanistan without Pakistan, then it is the way. Other than that, also Afghanistan and then beyond towards the Central Asia also it will provide the connectivity. So that is Gwadar and the Chabar port, which you should remember. Coming to the next one, Iran Trump's plan follows Israeli schemes to wipe out Palestinians. Last time also we have talked about it, and recently Iran has made a statement. They are saying that when they are saying that after the, you can say, the ceasefire agreement, they will be handing over this particular area of Gaza. Israelis will be handing over the area of Gaza to USA, and USA will go for the reconstruction. Now again the problem is that USA thinks in the, you can say, favor, or they have had the inclination towards the Israel. So there are high chances that they might, you can say, wipe out the Palestinian from this particular region, and that has been said by the Iranian leader over here. Okay, Iran categorically rejected a proposal by the President Donald Trump to relocate Palestinians from Gaza. US would take over the war ravaged Gaza Strip and develop its economy after the Palestinians are resettled elsewhere, shatters the decades of the US policy towards the Israel-Palestinian conflict. Okay, so we have talked about this yesterday as well when we were talking about the Mr. Trump's decision. So sorry, decision. It would be better to call it as a proposal. Okay, so that is there. Other than that, Ukraine attempts offensive in the western Kursk region. You know that earlier also in August last year they have gone for the you can say some kind of aggression in this particular region. So that is your Kursk region, which is you can say the western border of Russia, which is having connectivity to Ukraine. Okay, so that is there. The fact that the Ukrainian forces are still capable of launching significant attack in the Kursk region highlights the stiff challenges that Russia faces to dislodge them 6 months after they burst across the border to seize the chunk of Russian territory last year, that I have already told you. Now what is that, why is that Ukraine is going for the Kursk region? Because they want something to, you know, play as a leverage against Russia. So that is why the Kursk region. Okay, so recently also they have gone for some of the aggression over there. Now for your own read, there is this article, Legacy of Aga Khan IV, philanthropist and leader of the Nizari Islamis. Okay, sorry, Ismailis. Okay, so this you can go through this particular article because Aga Khan is a prominent personality, so you can go through this particular article. Okay, now for your practice, there is this question which was given to you in the previous lecture. So let's see. Which of the following countries does not share land border with the Argentina? So options are given: Brazil, Chile, Bolivia. Option D would be your right answer, that is Ecuador. Ecuador does not have a border with the Argentina. Okay. Next, for today's practice, the question is what is meant by a gold rush, which we have just discussed. A sudden decrease in the gold price, a period of high demand for gold due to the rising prices or the economic uncertainty, a government scheme to promote gold investment, a new method of gold mining. Okay, so you can attempt this question and answer to me in the comment box. With that, I would like to take your leave. I'll see you in the next episode. Till then, have a nice day. Thank you, and please subscribe the channel.